More than 8 million tourists visit the Big Easy each year. They go to enjoy Bourbon Street, jazz, gumbo, and hurricanes.
But we're not like everybody else. We're looking for something a bit more unusual. We hear that New Orleans has a city of the dead, ripe with bodies and bedeviled by spirits.
Is St. Louis Cemetery #1 worthy of the Weird U.S. seal of approval?
Robert Florence wrote the book on New Orleans cemeteries, and he knows what attracts people like us to creepy places like this.
Isn't that odd for a cemetery to become a tourist destination?
Well, a lot of people think it is until they come here. A lot of people think this is odd, this is unusual, and then about halfway through the tour, they get it. They say, this place is fantastic, it's fascinating.
According to Robert, we must return to the beginnings of the city to understand this weird New Orleans cemetery culture. In 1718, French settlers lay the first cornerstone of New Orleans in what is the French Quarter today. They don't realize how fateful this decision is.
The city is built below sea level. When the Mississippi overflows, which happens often, it floods the city and its cemeteries.
Corpses wash out of nearby graves and float through the streets.
Overwhelmed, the colonists need to find a better way to bury their dead in such a waterlogged place. You may wonder why they didn't just cremate the dead. Well, in the late 18th century, most New Orleanians are devout Roman Catholics and adhere to strict church law that forbids cremation.
So in 1789, St. Louis Cemetery #1 opens, and above-ground tombs become the norm.
Sir Robert, is there any room left in this cemetery for anybody to be buried in?
Yes, there is, because the tombs are reusable.
Well, what do they do with the old bodies?
You can have several generations of one family buried within one tomb.
Well, how many coffins can you fit into a box this size?
Conceivably, you could put 300 in there.
300? Doesn't seem like it would fit 10.
Well, they move them. With the reusable above-ground multiple burial, there's a tradition that a year is the minimum amount of time to leave it in there before they move it for the next casket. It's
Move it to where?
To, in this case, a receiving vault in the chamber in the foundation, which is called a caveau.
In the bottom floor, it's just a hodgepodge of people, and just years and generations all mixed in together?
Right, right.
It seems almost impossible.
We come from a place where you put a person in the ground, and then when you need to bury someone else, you dig another hole.
Right. Well, what happens is these are above-ground tombs, and the remains break down more rapidly. If you put someone in the ground, they're not going to break down as rapidly. You've got heat, you've got humidity, you've got microbes, and you've got insects. They call the wall vaults oven vaults because they look like ovens, they also act like ovens.
I can't imagine what that's like, opening up these tombs time and time again.
You know, the first thing you see when they open them up is...
steam coming out.
Well, the second thing you see after that is a lot of insects. Cockroaches, big ones running all over the place.
Yeah, it's like nature's way of decomposing.
Throughout this city of rotting flesh and bones, we see mysterious markings on the tombs and Mardi Gras beads left in odd places.
And what do the X's signify?
The X's are supposed to be some sort of ancient New Orleans voodoo ritual to get a wish granted.
Over the years, we've learned a little about voodoo. Most importantly, that it's a religion steeped in rituals that can be traced back some 6,000 years to West Africa. Veneration of the dead is an essential element of the religion. They glorify their ancestors through ceremonial dances and by offering gifts, like the beads laying around this cemetery. Visitors leave them in honor of Marie Laveau, a voodoo queen who was buried here. But we're curious, is this ancient religion still taken seriously, or has it evolved into a superstition?
Do you think those are true voodoo rituals or just some kind of
Hocus pocus.
hocus pocus?
There's no dictionary definition. I think voodoo is what the person doing it thinks it means. If someone's doing it sincerely, it's voodoo.
In the mid-18th century, Haitian slaves introduced voodoo to Louisiana natives. The new religion frightens plantation owners who are sure that their slaves practice some sort of black magic when they find them sacrificing animals like chickens, doves, and goats.
We want to find out more about this weird religion. On a hunch, we decide to track down a modern voodoo priest.
Hi, are you John Martin?
Yes, I am.
I think you're the man we've come to see.
John, rather than the usual Bourbon Street tour, we're wondering if maybe you could give us the real flavor of New Orleans. Follow me.
This is Eden and Erzuli. They are my Colombian boys.
Those two snakes? I see one.
Both are 8 years old.
I think the general perception that people have in this country of voodoo is that it's something evil or anti-Christian.
Well, the negative aspects are created by the press and by Hollywood.
At midnight, the supreme sacrifice is made, during which a child of 3 or 4 years of age is killed and eaten.
In an effort to sell movie tickets, Hollywood links voodoo with evil. Things like zombies and voodoo dolls are used to terrify moviegoers, but neither is actually part of the Haitian religion.
The voodoo doll actually has its roots in European witchcraft, where pins were stuck into dolls in order to inflict pain and curse the person the doll represented.
I mean, Hollywood's gotten it all wrong?
A little bit.
I don't believe it.
In fact, believers recognize a benevolent God, and between God and the mortal world are thousands of ancestral spirits who grant wishes and provide assistance.
Voodoo priests like John Martin create magic potions and evoke the spirits to cure all sorts of ailments using a gree-gree bag.
John, I'm wondering if you can make me up a gree-gree bag. I have a little bit of stomach problems here from the ride-in. You think that's possible?
Well, I'm going to fix you up a gree-gree that'll be a little more multi-purpose. It'll help with healing, it will help with problems as far as love, as far as understanding, and it will also help with protection.
All these things would help us on our weird vacation, but when we see the ingredients John puts into his secret potion, we wonder if we've got the stomachs for this. Well, today, 15% of the population of the city practices voodoo. They're led by priests like John T. Martin.
A gree-gree is prepared for the particular individual according to what their needs would be.
He's preparing a gree-gree bag, the most powerful and expensive of all voodoo charms. It's supposed to ward off evil as we take our tour across the United States.
This is the gree-gree bag. You traditionally have the red felt bag and you have the veve of many spirits, so it attracts the different spirits for the different purposes. And this is what we're going to put the ingredients into.
The term gree-gree comes from the French word for gray, referring to a combination of black and white magic.
First off, I have to do a little cleansing as far as you are concerned. So we always use the cigar.
It's good.
You're looking pure already.
My little helpers here get a little rambunctious every once in a while.
All snakes are treated with reverence, according to the voodoo belief that they have direct contact with God.
One of the first things I'm going to put in there is skin from the spiritual python. This is from Eugene, my big python upstairs. And what this does, it helps you unmask the truths.
Think I can use a little of that?
3 copper pennies, not only for prosperity, but for healing. Rose petals, which will help as far as the love aspect of his life. Lavender, which is going to enhance his dreams.
While researching gree-gree bag ingredients, we found a love powder recipe from 1937. It goes something like this. Got some live hummingbirds, dry the heart, and powder it. Then sprinkle the powder on the person you desire.
But Skirman, he-man that he is, doesn't need any help with matters of the heart. He's just looking for some good voodoo vacation vibes.
So John, now that this bag is all wrapped up in a nice neat bow, what does Mark do with it?
He keeps it in a place that is special to him. He carries it with him when he feels the need. He can leave it under his pillow. It's the same as carrying it on him. And now I'm going to give him the blessing. Paplaba, yay, yay, yay. Paplaba, yay, yay, yay. Paplaba, yay, yay, yay. Paplaba, open the door so that we can come to the other side. Bless and empower this bag for your faithful servant. Bring him all the good things in this life and in the life to come. In God's name, shay, shay, shay.
So for a snake. John, thank you very much for the tour.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I hope we helped enlighten you a little bit.
I am actually feeling better already.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.